Dr. Steve Kelly has a background in neuroscience and psychology, and he wrote a great article about how caveman instincts actually helps us explain our belief in God. That's interesting, and I could already hear people being outraged. The idea that you can compare somebody who believes in God to a caveman and their primitive way of thinking. Well, again, to be clear, I didn't say it. It's Dr. Steve Kelly. He says, quote, "When an event happens, we tend to assume that a living thing caused it. In other words, we assume agency behind that event. If you think of the sorts of events that might have happened in prehistoric times, it's easy to see why a bias towards agency would be useful. A rustling of a bush or the snapping of a twig could be due to wind, but far better to assume it's a lion and run away. The survivors who had this tendency to more readily ascribe agency to an event passed their genes down the generations, increasingly hardwiring this way of making snap decisions into the brain." So that's really interesting, and I think that's totally true, that it's evolutionarily advantageous to assume that everything has a cause, everything has a purpose, everything has a meaning. Especially if you're walking through a fucking forest or a jungle where things within 10 feet of you, there's like 20 things within 10 feet of you that can kill you. Snakes underground, spiders that can bite you, a tiger in the bushes or whatever. And so you're walking around and you need to assume that there's a reason for everything happening, because then you can make snap judgments and save yourself and save your family and save your tribe, and that gets passed down through the generations. That way of thinking gets passed down. And that does translate over into today. You could see how people would say, well, look, there's a cause for everything, a cause and effect, a purpose for everything. So why are we living? Well, there's a bigger reason. That reason is God. That's certainly one way of explaining why we believe like we believe. He also proposes what's called the theory of the mind explanation. And basically what that means is we all survived better in little tribes. And for things to run smoothly, you can't question every little thing that everyone does in your little tribe of, I don't know, like 100 people or 50 people or whatever it is. So you assume, again, that everybody has a reason for doing what they do. And that translates over into a belief in God, because you say, well, the rain has a meaning. God is mad at us, so he's, making it rain too much. Or God is mad at us, so he made the volcano explode. Or God is happy with us, so he made it a nice, bright, beautiful, sunny day. So you see this human perception and this human way of thinking, you put it onto everything that happens in life, and you assume that, no, nothing can be random because we've survived by thinking nothing is random. It's a really, really interesting way of looking at the situation, and I know religious people are going to hate it, but look, man, it is really a psychological phenomena. What religious people are, especially fundamentalists, because at its core, in the year 2014, if you're still a fundamentalist religious person, or even somewhat of a moderate religious person, there's a lot of a leap of faith going into that, where you're disregarding evidence. You're shoving your face in the sand and saying, I don't want to know the truth. I'm purposely going to be ignorant, okay? I don't want to think about this stuff. I don't want to know reality, and don't question me on that. Well, we are going to question you on that, and we're also going to try to figure out exactly what the mental process is that leads for you to think like that.